All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. I'm Jenny McCullum. I am the Director of Procurement Services and Inventory Planning. I'm the Chief Procurement Officer and the Awards Committee Chair. I'd like to call the June 3rd, 2021 meeting to order. We do have a quorum in person with Stephen Datt, Ricky Erickson, and Hai Vu. And then we've got Joe Arfano remotely online. And Laura Dutton should be joining us shortly. OGC is represented by Julie Davis, and Budget is represented by Stephanie Neely. Before we get started, I'll ask if there are any public comments. Anyone in the room with you guys?
No public comments.
Okay, great, thank you. Did we get any emails that came in prior to the meeting?
No emails.
Okay, thanks, Haley. And then is there anyone on the call that has any public comment about today's agenda items? All right. Well, we will look at today's agenda. We have items 1 through 3 and 5 through 8. Item number 4 was deferred. They've all been reviewed by Procurement and by Budget, and they are ready for the Awards Committee review. We'll handle the meeting like we typically do. We'll review each award. I will ask if there are any comments or questions from the committee, and then I will roll call, or I'll ask for a motion to approve with a second, and then we'll roll call through the committee to get everyone's individual approvals. So we will start with the meeting minutes from the May 21st, 2021 meeting. Do we have any questions or comments? All right, can I get a motion to approve the meeting minutes from May 21st, 2021?
Joe Arfano, so moved.
Thanks, Joe. Can I get a second?
Hai Vu, second.
Thanks, Hai. We'll roll call through the committee to approve the meeting minutes from the May 21st, 2021 meeting, starting with Joe Arfano.
Approved.
Hai Vu.
Approved.
Ricky Erickson.
Approved.
Stephen Datt.
Approved.
And Laura Dutton. Approved. Great, we can hear you, Laura. So you've got on just in time. We're starting award number 2. This is a contract increase for the grit, waste, and sludge disposal management services for Buckman. And so this is for the transportation of the disposal for the bar screen waste, grit, sand, and unclassified sludge cake and occasional pellets. We also have some optional work that we asked during the solicitation process, which was pricing per ton for Class B biosolids disposal, and then also JEA requested pricing for emergency dewatering services in the event of a failure of JEA's dewatering equipment, so our centrifuges. Biosolids Distribution Services LLC is the awardee, and we are requesting a contract increase in the amount of $1,215,573. This is a 5-year contract that started back in October of 2018, and this will run through October 29th of 2023. The note for the increase earlier than expected has been due to equipment failures over the last 2 years. JEA required more emergency dewatering and sludge hauling services. We've got about $160,000 left on the contract, and when we look back at the historic spend of $550,000 per year to finish out this contract, we're looking at the amount that we have listed in the on the award amount, and the formula has been displayed for your review. So I'll pause there and ask if there are any questions or comments from the awards committee. All right, I'll ask for a motion to approve award number 2.
Stephen Datz, motion to approve.
Thanks, Stephen. Can we get a second?
Laura Dutton, second.
Thanks, Laura. We'll roll call through the committee to approve award number 2, starting with Stephen Datz.
Approved.
Laura Dutton,
Approved.
Joe Arfano,
Approved.
Hai Vu,
Approved.
and Ricky Erickson.
Approved.
Thank you. Award number 3 is a renewal. This is for JEA Fleet Services bucket truck maintenance and repair. This covers our preventative maintenance, corrective maintenance, yard checks, road calls in order to support JEA operations. To date, we have 291 aerial assets that are a part of this program, with the majority of them being Altec and Terex brands. The renewal is going to both of the original awardees, so Altec Industries, Inc., in the amount of $936,000, and Ring Power in the amount of $82,800. This originally was approved as a 1-year contract with 2 one-year optional renewals. So this is our first renewal. And just make a note that the request, it looks like Altec Industries requested a slight increase in their annual inspection pricing to include filters, which they neglected to include in their original bid. Ring Power has agreed to renew under the same terms and did not increase their rate. The award amount is an estimate that is calculated by using the existing fleet makeup and the corresponding projected maintenance, both preventative and corrective, that will occur over the 1-year period. So these numbers can fluctuate on actual usage of the vehicle, future fleet purchases. If we add to this contract and add fleet vehicles to our fleet, retirements of vehicles, and the severity and the frequency of major repairs. So this is kind of all encompassing of how our fleet grows and decreases throughout the year. I'll ask if there are any questions or comments.
Yeah, Jenny, this is Kenny Pearson. I wanted to make a notation. I spoke with OGC earlier, and they would like for us to make or ask, as part of this, the awards committee that this approval of this award will be retroactive to June 1st, and that we would reinstate the contract as of June 1st. Today's June 3rd, and this contract technically expired on May 31st. So we're essentially backdating the award and backdating the renewal 3 days.
Okay. All right. Well, when we go through and I ask for approval, when we make the motion, if someone could make the motion to include the reinstatement of the contract back to June 1st, we can incorporate it that way. Thanks, Kenny. Do we have any questions or comments from the awards committee?
Jenny, it's Joe. On page 26 of the package, on the original award, there's a typo on the date that Lori Whitmer signed it. If that could just be corrected to 2020.
Sure. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks. I hate to steal Stephen's thunder on that.
Technically, that was already done. So Stephen might have caught that last year. Stephen.
So Jenny,
yes. What
Julie
we
gave
can
us
do
off.
is,
sorry, I'm sorry.
sorry, I was just going to suggest, Lori, we'll cross through, handwritten cross through that, and just have you initial next to it. Julie, what were you going to say? Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. You mentioned when you were in your description earlier that that Altec did not include some expense in its original bid. I just wanted to make sure that wouldn't have affected the result of the original bid. the scoring and the award to Alltech for the majority of this contract?
It's a good question. It would not have.
It would not. Actually, when you look at their price increase that they're proposing today is actually, so this new award amount would actually be still less than the second place bid last year. So even, in this concept that Ring Power held their prices, what if they would have held their prices last year? Would we still be better off? We would still be better off. Alltech with their increases are still less than the original second place bid price from last year.
Thanks, Julie.
Okay,
Thanks, Kenny.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? All right, I appreciate that discussion. I'll ask for a motion to approve award number 3.
This is Ricky. Motion to approve with the changes that were mentioned earlier, retrobated to June 1.
Thanks, Ricky. Can I get a second?
Hi,
Martin, second.
Hi, I got Hi, so we'll go with Hi this time. We'll roll call through the committee and for approval of award number 3 with the note to reinstate the contract back to June 1st, 2021. And we will make a note of that, Haley, and let's just make a note of that in that second paragraph in the background. I'm going to start with Ricky Erickson.
Approved.
Hi, Vu.
Approved.
Laura Dutton.
Approved.
Joe Arfano.
Approved.
And Stephen Datt.
Approved.
Hey,
Thank you.
Jenny, if you have to ever type out these notes, make sure you get the spelling of my name correct in that one, because all I heard from the last discussion from Jenny was, I got high.
I couldn't hear you. What was that, Hi?
No, I just said, make sure you get the spelling of my name correct if you ever have to type out the notes, because all I heard from the discussion from Jenny was, I got high.
Yes, please. Hi, Vu. Use his last name. All right, award number 5. This is a single source award, and this is for records, storage, and management services. So this is a project that we are asking Access to perform. This is for file, document, and imaging services for about 7,500 boxes of files, documents, and images. And we're estimating the completion of this of June of 2022. So I want to just make a note on this award. If we could update the end date to say project completion, and then in parentheses, estimated September 30th of 2022. That gives you guys a little bit of flexibility in case the project runs a little bit longer. You won't have to do an amendment to the contract. This recommended awardee is Access Information Management of Georgia, LLC, and the amount is $1,335,675. I'll just note that we already do work with Access. JEA has previously piggybacked off of the COJ's contract, but in 2019, COJ awarded a single source with 3 one-year renewals. And so since it wasn't competitively bid, we are now moving to a single source as well. And I will just note that there was some pricing comparisons done, and so it wasn't a driving factor in the consideration of the single source, but JEA did have pricing from other suppliers, which was more than Access, and the rate we're getting is lower than the city rate. So I'll pause there and ask if there are any questions or comments.
Jenny, this is Stephen on page 34.
does the number of files to image have an extra 0, or should it be 2,255,000?
Rodney or Jason, do you want to comment on that?
I'm checking the actual scope of work document. It might be a extra 0. Hold on just a sec.
Just an extra 0, okay.
It's actually represented the same way on page 39 from Access.
Jason, are you able to answer?
Yeah, this is Jason. So a file, like a file folder, may have multiple pages, but when it's imaged, it may just be one file at the end. So I think that's what that's referring to. I'd have to double check with the scope of work, but the number of images and estimated boxes is correct. And these are just estimates based on our past inventories and what we gleaned from the business units over time. And the scope of work makes it clear that these are estimated volumes and not actual volumes until we actually get into working with each business unit to get the files to Access and then have them image them. So I think that's what that's referring to.
All right, so this is Rodney Lover. You're right, Stephen. The scope of work from Access does show that extra 0 in there as well.
So we think that the number of files to image is 225,500, or do we think it's 2 million?
Oh, I see it now. I'm looking. I need my glasses. So it's probably 2 million. I'll have to double check with. Yeah.
Yeah, let's confirm that and make sure. I assume that the estimate that we have for the award amount would not change. Otherwise, we'd have to come back to the committee for that. Can you confirm this is? We think that the estimate is done based off of the 2 million.
So the number of boxes, pages, and images is correct.
Okay.
And and I think the estimate amount is correct as far as the dollar amount. I think that's just an error on our part when they did it, but I'll confirm with them. But the estimated amount would be based on the number of estimated boxes and images.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right, I'll ask for a motion to approve award number 5. If anything were to change with this amount, clearly we would bring this back to you guys if needed, if it was over the 10% after you guys approve this, but it sounds like we are comfortable with this award amount.
Laura Dutton, so moved.
Joe
Thanks,
Arpano,
Laura.
second.
Thanks, Joe. We'll roll call through the committee to approve award number 5, starting with Laura Dutton.
Approved.
Joe Arfano.
Approved.
Haizu.
Approved.
Stephen Datz.
Approved.
And Ricky Erickson.
Approved.
Thank you. Award number 6 is a proposal for engineering services for the design, permitting, and services during construction of approximately 11,700 feet of 24-inch reclaimed water main along Longleaf Pine Parkway in St. Johns County. Mott McDonald, Florida LLC is the recommended awardee in the amount of $450,484. We expected the project to be completed in September of 2023, and I'll just note that we had a 5% evaluation criteria for JSEB, and this consultant looks like they're going to be way over that with about 17%. We received 3 proposals, and the proposed negotiated fees for this work came in about 28% lower than what we had estimated. Do we have any questions or comments on award number 6? All right, I'll ask for a motion to approve award number 6.
Stephen Datz, motion to approve.
Thanks, Stephen. Can I get a second?
Hai Vu, second.
Thanks, Hi. We'll roll call through the committee to approve award number 6, starting with Stephen Datz.
Approved.
Hi, Vu.
Approved.
Ricky Erickson.
Approved.
Joe Orfano.
Approved.
And Laura Dutton.
Approved.
Thank you. Award number 7. This is a single source award for Blackford's filter purchase. So this is a purchase of the Alpha, I don't know how to pronounce, I'm going to butcher this, but Alpha Laval filters. I hope I said that right. And this will go into an available space in the basin of filters 5 and 6. The award amount is $391,450, and we are estimated to have this completed in December of 2021. Just a little bit of background in history. The 4 existing filters, 1 through 4, are 20 years old and have reached the end of their useful life. Filters in the 5 and 6 areas are newer technology and were installed with the recent plant expansion. So the new basin was built with room for a 3rd filter to go in. And so with that 3rd filter and without having, I believe, replacing the 4, so we'll just now have 3 filters. This will provide full flow with some resiliency. So I think I'd like the business or Dan or Joe to comment on that.
Hey, Jenny, this is Dan Crook. I think you said it right. We're replacing the 4 old filters with this newer type it's both cost effective and it should provide us with a full flow resiliency. Due to the age of those other filters, we were having some issues, so this should solve that.
Okay, so we're going to go from 6 filters to 3?
Correct.
Am I reading that right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. And I'll just note, thanks, Dan, I'll note that this is, these were, this was part of the plant expansion and the way it was engineered. And so this is, obviously there's only one justifiable source, which is the OEM of the brand of this filter. Are there any questions or comments from the committee? All right, I'll ask for approval of award number 7, a motion to approve.
Joe Orfano, so moved.
Thanks, Joe. Can I get a second?
Stephen Datz, second.
Thanks, Stephen. We'll roll call through the committee, starting with Joe Orfano.
Approved.
Stephen Datz.
Approved.
Hai Vu.
Approved.
Ricky Erickson.
Approved.
And Laura Dutton.
Approved.
Thank you. Award number 8. This is our last award. It is also a single source. This is for commercial water meters for JEA Storeroom stock. This is for us to solidify pricing for this year, or for a 1-year period, which would end in May of 2022. These meters and the meter materials are the primary application of measuring water for the use and the purpose of accurate billing for our commercial customer base. So you guys saw one a few weeks ago that was for residential. There were 2 different awardees, and this one is for commercial. The recommended awardee is Census USA, Inc., and they also have part of the residential. And the award amount is $1,732,125. So Census is currently the only manufacturer approved by the JEA Standards Committee. And we've decided we're just going to do a year, and the Standards Committee is reviewing additional sources. So we are trying to bring other sources into the mix through a testing and approval process. So I'll pause there. I'll also just make a quick note that we're seeing about a 5% increase in our pricing, and which we are okay with. Right now, our market conditions are absolutely crazy. I'll just make a note that CPI is at 4.2%, and it's the highest we've ever seen it. I don't recall ever seeing it higher, and that's just CPI. And so this 5% increase has been deemed reasonable based off of market conditions. Do we have any comments or questions from the awards committee? All right, I'll ask for a motion to approve award number 8.
Laura Dutton, motion to approve.
Thanks, Laura. Can I get a second?
Highway, second.
Perfect. We'll roll call through the committee to approve award number 8, starting with Laura Dutton. You're still on mute, Laura.
Sorry, I thought I did it. Approve.
It's okay. Thank you. Haivu.
Approved.
Stephen Datz.
Approved.
Ricky Erickson.
Approved.
And last but not least, Joe Arfano.
Approved.
Thank you. So we have approved the entire agenda for June 3rd, 2021, and I'll ask if there's any other business to come before the awards committee. All right, seeing none, we are adjourned. I hope everybody has a wonderful Thursday and a very happy and safe weekend. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Jenny.
Thank you.
You're welcome.